Hello, listeners of the Mad Scientist Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Cogswell, here with Marie Mayhew, my regular co-host. Marie, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. How are you guys doing?
Oh, doing so great. Marie calling in from
remote,
the beautiful middle of the country.
I'm calling
the
you
remote
from the
bunker here in the center of America. And then we have
We're
Rob.
Prepping. I'm prepping as we speak.
She is. And then we have Rob Christofferson from the Our Strange Skies podcast. Rob, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Doing so well. And then we got, am I right to say pantsless Sam?
Well, now
Actually,
I don't know if that would be the correct. I mean, I am wearing a form of pant. It may not be the pant that society would like me to wear, but it is still a pant.
We have a term.
What is it?
We have
jorts?
a term for him.
Are you wearing jorts? Is that it? Culottes?
Sure.
Is it culottes, Sam?
I am not
just
wearing
own up.
jorts. One time, I sat at home and I drank a lot of beer, and I was wearing jeans, and I thought to myself, wow, jorts would be so sick right now. And so I made my jeans into jorts, and I sat there on the couch, and I had, as I said, a lot of beer. And then my wife came through the door, and so we have like a little keypad that you hit the buttons on, and unlocks the door. So I heard her starting to hit this. The first thing that came into my mind was, oh God, what if she realizes I'm wearing jorts? And then I thought, she'll never notice. And then she comes in the door and says, what the hell did you do to your good pants? And I said, they're jorts. So there's my jort story, but that is not what I'm wearing because she made me throw them away.
We do have a term for Sam when he's in this mode. He is known as the sensual podcaster at that point.
Nobody wants that. No one wants that.
Wonderful.
No one wants that. No one wants
Wonderful time we're having already, guys. Okay.
And pants factors into this one, right? Am I wrong?
You might be.
Maybe.
You might be
Not
wrong.
wrong. He's not wrong at all.
It's an assumption. It's a fair assumption.
I'll tell you what, if that's wrong, I don't want to be right.
I don't know is it like the pants you're wearing is the question, or the pants that can anyone truly wear these pants?
I'll never
It's
tell.
the existential question that you should be asking yourself right now. I know it's what I'm asking myself right now, people. Does anybody else know what we're talking about? No, right? We've lost everyone.
Nope. Okay. We are talking tonight about the Fresno Nightcrawler, also known as the Fresno Alien. So let's, Jake, roll the tape. Okay. Okay. The Fresno Nightcrawler is a strange. So for those that haven't seen this video, I suggest Google Fresno Nightcrawler. It's a pretty famous video. It was originally probably made most famous on Fact or Fake Paranormal Files. I think it was the second case they ever analyzed. Mm-hmm. But it's a video that spread around the internet. I remember seeing it when I remember seeing it back on the days where, like, to get paranormal stuff, you had to go into chat rooms and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So it's a cryptid, or some kind of cryptid, potentially. And the original sighting was in Fresno, California, supposedly by a homeowner who had, I guess, dogs. He thought wild dogs running to his yard and ripping up the grass and surrounding kind of area. So he put up a security camera, and what he caught on his video is very weird.
Awesome.
Looking.
It's very awesome.
It appears to be, imagine a walking wishbone from a chicken, right? Or a turkey. And it's two legs that connect at like a top point that's kind of thin. And it looks like it kind of walks. And it walks in a very awkward, strange kind of fashion. The legends around the story propagated from there on the internet. Oh, it's an alien, it's a cryptid, it's something else. Even ideas that it's a fairy or something. And then it actually even spread further than that, with sightings now occurring in both Yellowstone National Park, supposedly with a much better a much better video, actually, or Yosemite National Park, excuse me. with a much clearer video. That one appears to be pants that are being puppeted to walk,
Yeah.
And then clearer pair of something or other.
a much clearer pair of pants, and then supposedly also a man in Poland claiming to have seen the creature. Although the only reference for that I can find is on cryptids.wikia.com. That's cryptids with a Z. And it just says a man in Poland. So that is rock solid.
That's a verifiable source for sure.
100%.
Anything with a Z at the end of it instead of an S is legit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now here's the thing though. It also has another link to a couple other sightings that have been supposedly seen, right? So supposedly one of the things that supposedly is part of this is that it is a part of Native American folklore. There appear to have been, there don't appear to be any reason to think that that's true at all. I couldn't find a single reference to it. I mean, we've been researching this. I mean, at least Marie and I, Rob and Sam,
for at least the last 20 minutes.
I have actually been reading about this for a week, Marie. Thank you very much.
Well, okay, so but let's back up and give a little bit more of a description about these creatures, okay? Because I think that they're owed that, because to me they are. What are you talking about, man? First of all,
their legs.
I equate them with, like, they are the Sanrio or Hello Kitty of the UFO sightings. They're the cutest things on the face of the, you see them and they're toddling along, right? So they're these skinny white, it looks like legs, but they're stumbling, like they're not very good at walking. It's not like they're striding around and they're very confident. They're like, yes, I am a UFO and a cryptid, and you don't know what I am, and I'm going over here now. They're like tripping around and, tripping over each other, and they're cute. They look, you see them, and the first thing isn't like fear or wonder. It's more like, oh, they're so cute.
I'm literally watching this video for the first time right now.
Right? And aren't you saying to yourself, oh my God, look at them. They're going to fall over and hurt themselves.
They're also supposedly less than a foot tall.
Oh my God, that's adorable.
Wait, they're really that small? Because they look taller than that.
Come
I know,
on.
the original.
Who's the cutest cryptid?
So I think the assumption when you see the original video is that they're much bigger because it looks like that it's like farther away. That's actually like shot pretty close to the ground.
Okay.
It looks like there's a tree in this video, though.
There is. No. That's what I'm saying. It is, but where they are in relation to that tree, like based on the real size of the tree, supposedly puts them at about a foot tall at most.
I disagree. Oh, they're so okay. Cute.
Well,
I disagree with the whole thing, scale, Sam.
At any scale, they are adorable. They look drunk, or they look like drunk toddlers. I mean, they're just sort of plowing.
Kind of toddlers.
Exactly. They're just sort of plowing along. What are they doing? Where are they going to? Are they in a hurry? It doesn't look like it.
Plowing along is a generous term.
Yeah, they look like
they're toiling. They're totally toiling.
Well, they look like that video game. They look like that video game Quap, right? Where you have to make the guy walk.
Quap.
By pressing QWOP or whatever it is. Go ahead, Rob. Sorry, you were going to say something.
No. It's all good. It's just like, to me, when I look at these things, they look like, I would say they're the spirit of parachute pants. That's really what they are, like ghost parachute pants. That's all I can think of.
Without any funk, but they have zero funk.
They have like zero funk.
Zero funk.
Yes. But you know what? Those pants, those things are out there, and you know what? They're grooving. They're grooving on. That's what they're doing.
So the Fresno Nightcrawlers actually isn't even. They're not alone. There are other cryptids like this, actually. And the most recent one was seen in 2017. It's called the Carmel Area Creature. The drawing of it is straight hilarious. Again, this is from cryptids.wikia.com.
With a Z.
I actually found some other... With a Z. I found some other sources, too. So this is from the Highland Press Courier, the Highland County Press Courier from Hillsboro, Ohio. Information by Ron McClone, Mutual UFO Network, MUFON, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Network.
Get your network on.
Get your networks.
Okay, I guess it's roast mode on Chris today. Okay.
You're the one that said network.
You're the one making me sit here look at these flattering pants that I am so sad that I'll never be able to wear because I can't catch them.
They're so cute.
I can't catch the pants,
They're just
Chris.
Okay, I'm going to read this.
Like, what Pokeball can you use to catch them? I want to know.
I don't know. I don't
belt
know what
ball.
element they are. They're just, you know what they're looking for, Rob?
What?
They're looking for pie. They're the ones out there asking for pie.
They need to go to California, like lower California, like
Exactly.
like really
I mean,
lower.
Where's Rob Lowe? Rob Lowe
He was
is the one
he
that could
in Southern
enchant.
California.
He could enchant these
I'm
little
honestly surprised they
Sanrio
didn't cover this on the low
little
files.
loveys.
They should have. They really should have.
Yep.
But
So this
no.
is-
Instead
looking
we got
for pie.
underwater alien bases, and
Good God. This is the story from the Ohio Hillsborough, Ohio Highland County Press. Quote: a resident of the Carmel community is reported seeing a strange creature along Carmel Road on Friday, December 12th. This is a story published in 2014. Ron McGlone, an investigator with Mutual UFO Network, MUFON,
It's a network.
said, quote,
It's a
The
network.
witness-
It's like a MUFON.
the witness was driving near Carmel on December 12th,
God, this makes me
2014.
uncomfortable.
Came up over a hill and saw a 7-foot tall, slim, gray creature with muscular legs that walked like its knees were backwards. The 60-year-old former Marine who allegedly saw the creature also said it didn't seem to have arms. He also included a sketch also made shortly after he arrived home. I would like to get this information out in your area in hopes that maybe someone else has seen it or that their giant crossbred ostrich got loose or something. According to an online post at ufostalker.com, we recently bought a place in the Fort Hill area in Southeast Highland County. We first noticed after about 30 days of living here that we suddenly have a perfect circle that stays fresh green no matter what weather in our front yard. On Friday night, the 12th, we were driving home. After turning on Carmel Road, which leads to our road, we went around the curve by the Carmel Church and then up a small incline, and approximately 10 feet over the incline and in front of our truck, the alien ran across the road and into the woods. My husband saw it. He is a skeptic, almost 60 years old, and a proud Marine. He wouldn't have admitted to seeing it if he hadn't been in shock. I had him draw it for me when he got to our house. He says it was asphalt gray, or asphalt is gray, and about 7 feet tall, no arms that he could see, but muscular in the legs area, no jawline, and its legs were bent backward, and it leaned forward as it ran. If anyone in the Carmel area has information on what the object might be, he or she may contact McClone at, and then it gives his info. Now, the first comment on this is, Yeti and Sasquatch are two different creatures, FYI. ... Editor's
What?
note.
They're not wrong.
Editor's note,
They're
indeed
not
they are.
wrong. Okay.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, noob. Yeah. That's what you should
So
have said.
the
after
one,
that.
You
the one
para-noob.
in Ohio. So I love that the editor's note. Some lady just wrote a comment on that thing and then put the editor's note thing in herself, and probably like went, got off the computer and was like, I'm a effing genius. So the one in Ohio actually has a pretty good explanation, which is that it is a deer that is walking on its hind legs to get flowers or to get
God,
leaves rather from a
no.
tree.
I can't conceptualize this. I refuse to think about that.
No.
No.
Not the Fresno,
No.
not the Fresno Nightcrawler. Not the Fresno Nightcrawler.
okay.
The one in Ohio.
Okay.
Because if you look at his drawing, and then if you look at actually a photo of what a deer looks like standing on its hind legs to get leaves from like a low hanging tree, they look exactly the same.
Right, but the thing is,
Like,
I don't
no
want to
joke.
think about deer standing on two legs because it gives me a frighten. It is
It gives you a fright.
very
Because
So
then
sorry,
they might
Sam.
start talking to you. Yeah.
Stop. Oh, God.
Animals
God,
walking
no.
upright is not something we should be discussing with Sam because he'll need therapy.
It is my base fear. It is the fear upon which all my other fears find their foundation.
I would say the underlying fear, if we want to really get there, is like is his dog talking to him.
Stop. Please stop. Please stop. I'm
I'm
going to
just
cry.
saying, you're
I'm laying in
amongst
bed and I'm
friends,
going to
Sam.
cry.
We should
Oh,
maybe
man.
talk about this more and get
I won't.
work this
Get it
out.
out there.
I won't. And
I
neither
mean,
will Darren.
realistically, Sam, if there is a dog that looks like it could talk, it's your dog.
I know, right?
True.
That's the problem. I stare into his deep,
Yeah.
soulful eyes all the time, and I'm like, "Are you about to talk? Please don't. Please."
And
don't
you know what the
say
dog would
anything."
say? And you know what he'd say?
What would he
Pie.
say? Oh God!
Pie.
I love
I
you,
just want
Sam.
Sam. I just want pie. Sorry.
I'd have to throw him
Anywho,
out
okay.
like
Deer's
garbage.
deer's
I have to throw him out.
Deer's walking.
Interesting.
Deer's on their hind legs, huh?
That's what. Well, okay. That's what they're saying for this other one. The Fresno Nightcrawlers, I think, are just puppets.
What are you on about? So, puppets, you think?
Yeah, hell yeah! You can't look at those things.
So I don't.
Well, I mean, like the one from Yellowstone or whatever. That I would say definitely puppets. I don't know about the other one, man. It's a little too grainy.
Really?
To
What do you think
kind
it
of
is
really,
then? What do you guys think?
I'm still going with the Ghost of Parachute Pants. That's really all I got.
Guys, I'm
So
gonna.
here's the thing that. Yeah, Sam, what do you think it is?
Well, I mean, I might be in the wrong here, or it might be an unpopular opinion on your hoity-toity smart people science podcast. But I think it's legit. I mean, look at this thing. Look at this thing. I think this is real. Like, I know this sounds stupid of me, but I've done about 4 minutes of research while you were talking, and it seems real. It really does.
So I'm gonna blow everyone away. I'm with Sam. I don't
Really?
believe anything else out there. You know what, skinwalkers? Pfft, whatever. No way. But these things, I'm for them. You know why? I think they're cute and I like them. I'd like to think that if there's something out there, it's really having trouble adjusting and having trouble walking, and it's its buddy. It's like they're just coming home from a bar or something, right? And there's a slight incline, and they're like, "Whoa,
They're
wait a
just a
minute!
little
Oh,
drunk.
hey, yes."
Well,
And
have
I'm a
you
little
guys
drunk.
seen
No, I'm
these?
perfectly not.
Have you guys seen these sculptures? These like wooden carving sculpture things? Like,
I have, but see, I don't know if those are those. I just saw a photo of those on a spooky forum. Like, do those actually have relation to that? Because I couldn't find any info on them.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm.
Oh, they do
again,
now.
guys.
They do
I am
now.
literally learning about this in real time, and therefore,
If
I
you don't give
know.
us facts, I'm gonna be so mad.
But it really seems like you mentioned they did it in Fact or Faked, and they came away saying, "I don't know how they would fake this." Like,
Yeah.
and then I'm looking, I see these statues about it. Nobody really seems to know. What is it? It says the pictures surfaced from a source in Florida who claimed they were merely passing by they were merely passed on to him by a woman in New Jersey. A report aired on TV in Mexico displayed the original footage from Fresno and then showed the series of photographs. So, like, it would seem as though these statues at least did not exist after the fact. Like, they seem to have been there when it happened. Although, again, we don't know where they are. We don't know, like, who put them up. We don't know what they mean. It's just that they exist. I'll look through the comments. You guys go ahead and talk for a minute. I'll look through these comments here, see what they say.
And they're not in proximity to California or Fresno, is what I understood about those pictures. It's like nobody knew exactly where they were or where they came from, but they're not identifiable within the Fresno area. I think what's interesting about it is I went back in and I'm looking through all the papers, the Fresno Bee, which is like the main paper within Fresno within this time period. And there's really no reporting of this at all that I could find in the 1990s in Fresno. And so it's like you have to kind of, if I'm thinking about the 1990s and Fresno is a relatively good sized city, but not too big, I don't know if they would have necessarily had, like, what is the technology that they would need to fake this is my question to you. Because again, it's kind of weird. It's like, it's only come up in one place, really. I mean, if it's very sparse to find online, except for the Yellowstone and maybe a few other mentions of whatever else. But it's like that one video. And I can't even find proximity wise where in Fresno it took place. right? Because normally you can at least say it's in this, and it's the homeowner or the dogs. You can't find the name of the homeowner, right? So I'm sort of like, because my whole thought was like, what was going on in Fresno in the 90s, and it's like kind of everything else, like there's nothing that seems like it was stuck out or was different from anything else. But I think it's strange that it only happened once, and there's not a lot of, like, Chris, what would going back that many years, what would be used to fake that? And why would you fake that in some ways? You would have to know that there was a camera there, and you would have to know that you would be looking, if it's not the guy with the dog who's doing it to himself, like, how would that even be, where would you even start?
So have you guys ever, what are the words, those kinds of puppets? Basically the puppets that use the string puppets, right?
Marionettes.
So Marionettes. Yeah, no. I am 100% serious. I would have marionettes. It would be like a marionette, basically. I would have it on a light string. The video is extremely, extremely fuzzy, right? I mean, it's like, it's maybe the most fuzzy video that ever has existed.
Oh, come on, it's not that bad. Now you're gonna make me look at it, you people.
It is it is actually, I would say, relatively clear. Like, you can get a good sense of what's going on here. Yeah, it's not clear enough to know whether there are strings attached, but it's definitely not I think I'm impressed by the quality of the video.
So, but if there's strings attached, then wouldn't there be some sort of shadow or some sort of other thing coming into frame? Is my other question.
Not if they are as small as the analysis that people have done seems to indicate.
All right. You know what? Now I'm putting down my Red Stripe beer, which is delicious, and I'm going to have to go get my phone. And I'm going to have to Google it and watch it again, which makes excellent podcasting. I know.
Wonderful
Wait,
podcasting.
stay here. Everyone stay
really.
here.
I'm looking at it again now. I still don't necessarily buy the foot tall or less sort of thing. That just seems weird. But so it was in the 90s, right? We're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing, is it doesn't have an exact date. It says the 90s. It never gives like this month, this year. Right?
I'm watching it now.
So,
which it can go either way with that, right? It can go either way. It can either be that because we can't nail down the month and year, it's fake because it's an urban legend that showed up. Or alternatively, we can't nail down the month and year because some poor guy didn't want to be like, oh, there were pants in my yard last night. Which honestly, I'm more than happy to believe that.
Well, because also, yeah, his buddies at the Elk Club would be like, really, man? Really? You had pants walking around your backyard, huh?
Okay,
right,
Bob.
So I'm going. All right, Bob. I'm looking at the official. Let's see, the exclusive official breakdown, the Fresno Nightcrawler.
I highly doubt
The
it's
official
exclusive.
one.
That's what do you? It says it is. It says it is exclusive. All right. And I'm watching it now. But I don't know. I mean, so when they did the debunking of it, wouldn't they have reviewed marionettes as well? I mean, there they go.
I mean, the thing is so here's the thing, right? The reason that I distrust this, besides the fact that I think it does look like pants,
and you hate cute things,
and I hate cute things, is because there is just like skinwalkers. There is a relatively good history of information about those actually being a thing before the Skinwalker Ranch came about, right? Like that has like a local lore. It has a continuation, whatever.
Sure.
These Nightcrawlers, besides that lady having those weird statues, which like my mom has lots of scary weird statues. Like we could talk about that for days. You know, there just isn't like, to me, there isn't a lot of I guess there just isn't a lot of history there for that idea to give it any kind of weight. On top of that too, Fact or Faked, as much as I loved that show, a lot, you know, they can only test so much stuff. A lot of the times they miss stuff. This, I think, would be like, okay, what's the billowy material? What would that be on an alien? Do they just like baggy clothing?
Maybe that's their skin, you insensitive ass. Maybe they can't help it.
Oh my goodness.
Well, if you're
no.
gonna play devil's advocate a little bit, what if they were incorporeal?
Ooh.
They weren't
Ooh.
a solid like thing. They were more ghost-like. Like that's the other side of the thing here, because they look almost translucent to a certain extent.
I mean, Rob, you are our resident expert on UFO sightings turn ghost turn pants sightings.
Yeah.
Professor Clown Pants, as I like to call him.
Those are clown pants. For listeners that don't know, during our short stint as UFO researchers, one of the cases that came in was actually just a pair of clown pants.
Yeah, clown pants. Somebody threw them in the air. Don't know why. I don't know. In all honesty, looking at it, I don't know how the researcher came to the conclusion that these were clown pants. But that was crack work. This is reported in Connecticut. So good work, Connecticut. Clown pants all the way.
Very well done.
The thing is like, I believe this is one of the websites, odysseyonline.com, which is like kind of where the story like not first appears, but like is the most
It's the
widely,
first Google
I think,
result,
reported
yes.
on. It says
Yeah.
that this phenomenon has been popping up in the Fresno, California area for over a century. Like, where did that come from?
See, I just don't. That's the only place I can find that cited. That's why I'm saying, like, what? Like, is there really info there like that?
No, I don't think so. And like, yeah, that's just frustrating. Like, and that's the thing too. Either these things are, you know, completely hoaxed, you know, 100%, or like I said, maybe they are like more ghost-like and like not a 100% physical thing. If I'm playing that side of it, but
Listen, I take ghosts are the most likely explanation.
I mean, like,
you know, frankly,
really strange looking ghost. Like, maybe this is like the ghost of, like, maybe it's not even a full bodied apparition per se. Maybe this is like,
Well, yeah, it's about half a
partial
body apparition. I would
yeah,
say.
a half a body apparition. Because I mean, like, you see like reports from people who talk about hauntings in their house, but when they see the spirits, they only see like a portion of them because like they remodeled their house, so like they may have pushed the level up, like, you know, maybe like a foot or two, so it's like they're sunk into the floor.
it's just a head.
Yes.
Ah!
Yeah, so like they're walking on the old structure, and you can only see like their torso to their head. And
That's
I love
fair.
it.
That's totally fair. That's
Very interesting.
Fair.
in St. Andrews in Scotland, where I fell in love with an entire nation. There's this old cathedral, these ruins, and people report seeing spirits walking through the air as if the ruins weren't ruins, as if they were still there in their original form. They're following the same hallways that used to be there. So yeah, if you raise a level, but how would that be that the sky came down a little bit? That is strange. That is strange.
The sky.
If you go
the
down
sky totally came down. Don't dismiss it.
if you go down a few to Fresno Alien Nightcrawler stick figure surveillance analysis, higher quality, provided to us by DPJ Tron. so he does something
Totally legit. Totally legit.
He does something so kind of interesting in that he blows out the video. It looks like the resolution on the video, because his whole thing was like, let's look to see if we I hate to say enhance the video, because that is straight out of enhance over 4 up to enhance, right? That's totally Blade Runner original stuff. But if you do push up sort of the difference in the video, his argument is you should be able to see a string, or you should be able to see something that would be making these things go. And so he does that in his videos. Version? It is the embossed version.
Kind of a brownish.
I saw the embossed one.
I saw that too.
So I don't know. I'm just seeing these little dudes walking. That's all. Well, and my other favorite, really quick, is what he puts in his notes. The name of the song is "Clubbed to Death" by Rob Dugan. Please don't ask me this question again.
Nice.
I have told you the name of the song. I will not.
It's clubbed to death.
So the thing that I kind of wonder with this is, so it's a night vision camera, right? Is that kind of where we're coming down on with this?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's night vision. So
and the sky came down. Yes, that's where we're at.
So
sky came down. Night vision.
Okay. Check the box.
One of the explanations that's been given online that I initially thought was ridiculous was a big bird. Right, it's like a giant egret.
The biggest bird.
The biggest bird. Hey kids, I'm drunk.
Gotta get through this yard.
So there's 2 of us. They do. I think Rob, you were the one saying they look like the aliens from Sesame Street. They're going
yeah, they go yep.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good stuff. They do look like them. So if it's night vision, then actually I think that it being a bird is still not likely, but more likely maybe. Especially if it's, say, night vision to capture, like, if it picks up some thermal, or, I don't know, I honestly don't know very, very much about night vision. So, I can't say this for certain, but I wonder what a bird, walking from far away with kind of a weird angle or whatever would look like, because I have a feeling it would look like that. That it would look like just 2 legs with kind of a weird middle part. Do you know what I mean?
It's possible.
But I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? Bird?
Nope.
How do we feel about the bird hypothesis?
I think alien still. I will say, reviewing again the Yosemite footage, again, real time, that seems to have been shot in 2011, it looks like. And that one's CGI, I would say. That one looks fake to me.
Is that the one with the trees? Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And it's like the legs are super bendy and stuff. So I just like to put my 2 cents in there. Still don't think it's a bird. Still pretty sure it's the ghost of my long dead jorts. But, could be anything. Could be a bird, I guess. Possibly.
I mean, realistically, if you were to pick up audio on that video, and they really were your jorts, they would probably have John Cena's theme song playing in the background. That's one way to totally definitively prove that they are the ghost of your jorts.
If they were my jorts, they would just be screaming. They would just be screaming.
The quiet.
Help us!
God bless them.
Existential scream. I'm looking at the one from the park as well, and it does seem like they just seem like they're in too much control. Like they're too they're just too perfect. They're walking too well. I don't know.
The thing that bothers me about the original one too is that the times I've seen it, it's always been, I think, slowed down considerably. So it looks like it almost seems like they're moving like across the like they're moving really slowly, right? Yeah. But in the actual video, they're hustling.
Yeah,
right? Like they're moving pretty fast. Yeah, so, and I actually think that lends it more credence to it being something weird, because if it was a bird, I would think, like, birds walk kind of fast, but birds kind of do like the fast walk where it's like, I'm not fast, I'm not walking fast anywhere. I'm not suspicious. You're suspicious. And then they kind of walk quickly.
What have the birds
the
been
same-
telling you, Chris?
I know, man.
Have they been talking
Don't
to
look
you?
at us.
Clearly.
Chris has
I'm-
been talking to the birds. It's
I'm not going to say any more at the request of my counsel, but yeah, that's where I think we are. So I'm going to say it's a ghost pants.
Cool.
I just watched it walk on in real time, and I don't know. They don't seem that fast. Do you think? Ghost
Yeah,
fans.
Yeah,
I think
they're
hustling,
kind
I
of booking
do.
it.
I think they're busting a move.
Whatever they are, they're just so damn cute.
They
And
are pretty adorable.
I
will
also
give you
have got to
that.
give it up. Yeah, I also got to give it up for like probably one of the fiercest names for any given whatever supernatural, paranormal doodad you got out there. They're the Fresno Nightcrawlers, man. That's like the best punk cover band ever.
You
It's
know,
the Fresno
that-
Nightcrawlers.
that name though,
I'm
it kind
surprised.
of the name kind of lends more, I guess, more credence to me to it being more of an urban legend than we know. And again, I did no research, but because it's not crawling. If I saw that, I wouldn't call it a night crawler. It seems like a night crawler is something that may have already existed and then just been thrown on to this specific thing. And that just because it doesn't seem like the appropriate name for it, you know? Am I wrong?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
but Fresno noodle legs never took off.
Right,
No.
right.
No.
Mr. Noodle Legs, over here.
Right. The Fresno spaghetti stepper strikes again.
So I have a question for you, Marie. Then
Mm-hmm.
you say that these things are incredibly cute.
They
How
are.
would it feel?
I'm not just saying that.
go
I can
up
say
to one-
the empiric truth is that they are incredibly cute. It's
They
not,
are
it's not even my
objectively cute,
opinion.
Rob.
They're
How does it
objectively,
make
they're
you
scientifically cute. Yes,
How would it make you feel
Yes,
to
you
go
are.
up to one, hug it, and understand that it could never return your hug ever?
I don't. It could in its mind. You don't know. You don't know.
No, it can't return your hug. It's not possible.
Sam, God, I got so upset by that. You just called you the wrong person. Rob, how do you know this? First of all, that means that you would have hugged one of these things already. Second of all, I can't believe we're talking about hugging a pair of phantom pants that terrorized the city of Fresno Lothies many years ago, right?
Did
I
it
can
really
believe it.
terrorize them though? Did it?
No, it didn't.
Seems like they kind of blipped into and out of existence.
They're too cute.
quick.
They're too cute to terrorize. I was giving them way too much credit, but they're so cute.
So the thing, one cool thing about this is that they are so unique in the way that they look too, that I think they're kind of, it is one of those things where it would make it hard for me to think of how they would be thought to kind of be made up, let's say.
Mhm.
You know, it's not like, oh, it's another alien video or whatever, but at the same time, it does make me wonder, like, literally, do we could a society that has never developed more than walking legs get here via space? Or
You're asking
You know
the
what I
wrong
mean? Like,
questions, Chris.
I
You're
don't-
asking the
I don't
wrong
know. I'm
questions,
just saying.
man.
I don't know.
I'm just thinking, like, I can't, you know, I got a cut on my thumb the other day and I was incapacitated for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I don't know
Wow.
how these things, I don't even understand it.
Well, and they're not very good walkers either. So, and there's only two of them. One of them almost like the one in the further vision looks like it's really like, oh, I just tripped over a rock.
Well, I mean, like, if you think about it, like as a bipedal thing, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to
No.
just be legs. I mean, like,
No.
I don't understand. Like,
Do they even have
how do you
eyes?
keep balanced? You know, how do you stay balanced?
Well, do
You
they?
need the arms to help with that.
Did they even have eyes? I know some of the videos were like, if you squint and really look hard, you can see eyes. And I was like, that's a stretch.
Yeah, at the very,
I-
very bottom,
You had me
right
up and-
before it
And
gets.
we're
had me
coming
up
down
to
on the
that.
side of ghost pants.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
had
I
me
mean,
up. You
yeah.
had me there until you said, "Were their eyes?" And I'm like, "Come on, man, no."
I can see it.
Interesting.
I can see it if I look hard enough. I believe
You
it.
see eyes?
Oh,
I see them right after
Do
it
they have-
goes
Do you
down
think if
between
if they
the
were-
date mark and the edge of the screen. You can kind of see it for just a moment.
Do they have big dewy eyelashes? That's how
they're
I'd like
just
to see them,
They're
too.
just black eyes. Like a shark's eye.
that's a-
Like a
No,
dog's
that's a
eye.
dead.
Okay, Quinn,
Dead
easy there. Easy.
All right.
Wait, so
think-
like, do you think if they were actually aliens, like their UFO would be a shopping bag? Like it'd be shopping bag shaped?
It
Maybe.
would say Old Navy on it, that's for sure.
Yeah,
I don't know
it'd
about
totally
the
say
exact
Definitely
shape.
would say Old Navy on it.
Yeah.
It would look like it was made out of Duplos or something, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm still,
Nice.
still coming down on the Hello Kitty.
Hello Kitty cute things.
Yeah. Hello. We're
Good
here.
times.
Oh, hello, Fresno.
We're here for your blood.
Oh, it's a hill. Ooh, be careful.
Okay,
It's slippery.
all right.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm scared again. I was feeling better. Now I'm feeling
Are you
worse.
scared of me imitating?
Now he's spooked out again. Talking animals. Talking animals can't do it. It's gonna be okay, Sam. I promise.
Jesus,
Okay,
Sam.
thank you. Thank you.
All right, folks. That's all the time we have for this week's episode here on the Mad Scientist Podcast. Thanks so much for joining us here on this episwell. I'm your host, Chris Cogswell, joined by my co-host, Marie Mayhew.
Good night, everybody. They're real.
And of course, joined by Rob Christopherson from the Our Strange Skies podcast. Rob, thanks again.
Thank you, and Chris, to echo our Mothman brethren and all that. I'll see you in time.
No! And Sam Fredrickson here from the Not Alone podcast. Sam, thank you so much for coming on,
I
man.
have but one request of you to repay me for this, and I would like that request to be that you never contact me again, because I don't want to talk about walk-in pants anymore. Okay. Oh my God.
You're the ones.
All right.
You're the ones that are wearing culottes right now, man. So I would just slow the roll.
Telling you, yo, getting kind of judgy here. Okay,
Whoa.
thanks again so much for listening, folks.
Night.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you again, dear listeners, for listening to the Mad Scientist Podcast. I have been your host, Chris Cogswell, joined by my co-host.
Marie Mayhew.
If you'd like to contact the show, please send us an email at themadscientistpodcast@gmail.com. That's all one word. You can also follow us on Twitter at Mad Scientist Pod or at Team Giant Squid for Marie. And of course, you can see us on Facebook, on Instagram, and all over the internet as the Mad Scientist Podcast. And again, our logo is the one with the pumpkin head, so it's easy to see.
Mm-hmm.
If you've enjoyed the show tonight, please consider supporting us on Patreon, where the money that you give to us will help us to promote this show further, to make it better, and just to spend more time making it.
We love doing that.
We do love doing that. Our logo was designed by Carrie Shaheen. Our web design is done by Desdemona Howard.
Woohoo.
And our sound design is done by Jake Cardinal. Thanks again for listening.
Thank you. This has been a Damn It Chippy production.